BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
All right, what's going on? This is a Yungblud podcast. Turn up that volume. Happy! What makes you unique? Think about it. You might not think there is something, but I promise you there is. Each one of us has something special and unique about us. Just by breathing, you are unique. It's something our friends and family see, but we often find it hard to recognise in ourselves. My guest this week wants to talk about his USP, autism. Jacob is 27 from Teesside. He was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old, and he spent his whole life being dehumanised for it. People pity him rather than becoming real friends. But he wants to show neurotypicals that autism actually gives him something different to offer the world. There's some strong language. As always, you have been warned. Here's me and Jacob discussing the strengths of neurodiversity. Yo, what's up?
There he is. Hey!
Jacob, man, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm grand, how are you?
Dude, I'm buzzing about this.
Oh, brilliant, are you?
I've been so excited to do this because Yungblud is about proving people wrong, changing the norms. So you were diagnosed with autism at age 3, and you felt like a lot of your life you were kind of dehumanized for it. But what you do now, which is what we'll get into, is kind of proving that people with autism can do extraordinary things outside of the box that people may put them in when you describe someone with autism. Initially, what was it like when you were first diagnosed with autism? Was it a shock, or was it strange to you, or do you remember that moment?
I don't really remember it because I was 3. So, like, from a young age, I knew, because I always had, like, teaching assistants at school, and all the other kids knew. It was kind of normal. I didn't think anything of it. But then it was when I was probably about, I'd say, 7 or 8, I kind of thought, oh, hang on here, I'm a bit different, and everyone's treating me differently. Even in school, I'm being treated differently to everyone else. Why is that?
How was school for you? Was it quite hard?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say more secondary school than primary school, because primary school was okay, and I think it was the young kids were kids. They weren't...
Yeah, there was no malicious intent or anything like that going through your head in primary school,
Exactly, and it wasn't until secondary school where I'd say the dehumanising thing kind of started, because there was, like, just little things, not to any of the fault of any of the teachers or anybody at the school, because I had teachers now, because I didn't quite fit in with everybody else. I was always on the fringes of loads of friendship groups, but never involved.
Yeah.
And there'd be things that happened during school and college which got misconstrued. They thought I was up to things when I wasn't, and it was like, well, hang on, why are you treating me like this when someone else has literally done the same thing? Is it because I'm an autistic man? You're thinking that he mustn't understand, or he's a bit of a child.
With me, like, kind of growing up as well, like, I found things hard. Like, I thought differently. I wanted to wear things differently, and where I was from was weird because I wasn't in that cycle. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to paint my nails and put on a dress, and I'm from Donny. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, you laugh because you relate heavy, and
I relate because I'm from Middlesbrough. So.
I can imagine your mental health it had quite a toll on that, right?
Definitely, and I think it's something that I don't think I realised at the time. Because at the time, I think, especially in school, I kind of tried to, not suppress it, I tried to sort of mask and act like everybody else, and even parts of uni as well, I'd just try to mask it, so I'm just like everyone else. And when people would say, oh, you don't look autistic, Jacob, I'm like, I would think, oh, that's a compliment. Now I think,
yeah, that
doesn't mean anything.
Like, why would you say that? Yeah, I don't think it doesn't get you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get you initially because you're in a situation where you kind of have to put on a front, and you're that immersed in that front, you don't realise how people are addressing you and talking to you. You don't see that. But I think out of pain, extraordinary things happen, right? Because you really, really found out your creativity, didn't you, at university? That's what made me so excited to talk to you, because as a creative person, I knew I would relate to you. What was that like, kind of going, I'm really creative?
It kind of came as a bit of a shock, because, like, at uni, I decided to do this, like, midway course between design and engineering, because I thought, well, I like design. And then I kind of realised that, oh, hang on, because I never used to think of myself as creative. I used to think of myself as quite logical. like the stereotype.
And that's a big stigma. That's what I'm saying. That is a massive stigma for autism. It's like people say that there's a lack of creativity, and I couldn't wait to speak to you because you are a living example going, hang on a second, fuck you. The point of this podcast and the point of Yungblud is to defy and to defeat and to take the stereotype, light it on fire, and laugh while it burns. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
100%.
Just tell me about that process. I couldn't wait to talk about it, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was a realisation that a lot of times where I used to think, I'm not that creative because I wasn't the best at drawing. I'm still pretty... Even though I'm 4 years in nearly to a design career, I'm still can't draw. But I used to think because my outputs of the creative process weren't as good as other people's, that I'm probably not the most creative, I'm probably logical. But then I realised, no, creativity is the process. It's the way you think. It's the way you see outside the box. And that's why I'm creative. And then it was about that time, sort of more towards, I did a master's degree in sort of design consultancy kind of innovation and trying to get people's different perspectives in. So I came in and say, like, this is my perspective, what's yours? And it wasn't until then I kind of realised, this is the weapon I've got.
Absolutely.
For creativity.
Absolutely.
I've got a unique perspective here that no one else in the room had.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And that's what's incredible. And that is what beauty can come from absolutely anywhere. When you least expect it, everyone is born with beautiful individuality. And
100%.
there should never be a preconceived notion about what someone is or about what someone's going to be, because it's so funny. You can give anyone all the tools to do something and they're going to be brilliant at the exact opposite thing. 100%. People can set everyone up for things and it's just not what you're good at. And I think it's brilliant. And since then, you've gone to be one of the lead designers in a sustainable sportswear brand, which is amazing. And you've designed like kits for football clubs and the West Indies Cricket World Cup kit. Hard! That's so sick!
That was insane!
I bet you can... What was that like? Like, seeing something that came out of like partly like your head being worn on like the telly or something?
How to describe it in...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's the podcast meeting, I should find the words, but I really can't.
Yeah, dude, trust me, it's like when someone like, I see like my t-shirt on someone, I'm like, oh, what? I'm still like, whoa.
Exactly
whoa.
that. It's like, the best example, the first one is when I designed, when I worked for my previous job, I designed a kit for a football club in Scotland called St Johnstone. And when I watched it on TV, it came on and I watched them, I was like, this is weird. This is something out in my head. It's come out. It's on TV.
Dude,
what's going on?
Dude, that's so sick, man. I wish I was there having a pint with you when that happened.
It was mad.
Dude, it is mad, isn't it?
With the West Indies, I actually went to a World Cup game where West Indies, I had tickets anyway, so I just went. So I saw these players wearing the kit I designed for them, and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Dude, that is so sick, man.
The maddest bit was it was the same day where Rihanna was in the crowd, and there's a picture she put on Instagram of a cap I designed.
Dude, that seems like I've just met you, and I'm like proud of you. I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
I'm like so proud of you. I've like just met you. That's because that's what it's about, man. That is what it's about. Fighting and taking the, like, if you are out there, man, and people are like kind of putting you down just because of the way you are.
Yeah.
Harness that and put it into something that you want to put it into and be brilliant at it, because your individuality should never, ever be used against you. It's a beautiful
100%.
thing, and just show everyone else, because trust me, people who don't know who they are and are frightened to death are the ones who will put you down. If you know exactly who you are, you will never do that, because you don't need to, because you want to spread love, man. I'm just buzzing, man. I'm finding words to say right now. Like, Jake, I know it's a podcast, but I'm just like, want to scream with you, man. Like,
Yes!
in your current job, you really love it, right? Because I read here, like, the CEO was like, okay, what can I do? What can we do to help you thrive?
Yeah, and that was the thing that when I first met him, just sold me on the job straight away, because I was like, right, this sustainable company, these look really cool. They're basically the company, they make everything from recycled and natural sources. So instantly I was like, I'm interested. But it was the first conversation I had saying, oh, you're autistic. What can we do to make you thrive? Exactly what you were saying, which was amazing because no one had ever asked me that before. It's kind of in previous jobs I've had, it's kind of just either been ignored or swept under the carpet or just think, oh, you look normal. It's fine. There's not going to be anything to surprise us. And then I think the way my autism affects me the most is like, the way I kind of describe it, I think you probably relate as well, is that I think neurotypical people tend to have a filter. They can filter out sounds and different noises. Autistic people find that difficult. It's not the same for everybody. Obviously, some autistic people are very bad with sound, so often wear noise-cancelling headphones. Some want to stay out of crowds. Whereas me, I love a concert, so I'm all right with noise and sound. But what affects me the most is when, like, say there's a bit of uncertainty in terms of what I need to do, structure, basically. That's that's when it affects me most. But what the CEO is doing is basically, right, let's make this structure, let's get everything we can to make you thrive. And even before this, he's based in Bristol, and he came up to the Middlesbrough today, and I had a run with him in a chat then, and he said, I told him that I really appreciated the fact you asked the first question. He said, well, are we doing that though? Is there anything we can do better? And I was like, even better.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, with artists, that's such a beautiful thing. Like, for you to be able to create under circumstances that are right for you, man, that's every artist's dream. You know what I'm saying? That is every creative person's dream, and that's amazing. What do you think is the biggest misconception about autism? As an autistic person, what would be a message if there's anyone out there that wants to be like just like you and be able to kind of not be dehumanized and be able to feel like they aren't weird or strange or different? What would you say to them?
You've got a unique perspective that no one else in the world has, and very few people on the planet will have a similar perspective to you. Even if you are the walking stereotype of someone autistic, that's fine. You are unique. You've got something that you can bring to the table. Don't let anybody tell you or dehumanize you or childize you or talk to you as a kid, which has happened to me. Yeah, definitely happened to me. It's not easy to deal with because you're just like, they've just got a misconception here, and they've got the best intentions at heart, but they misconstrued it massively.
Completely.
So it's trying to basically just ignore what anyone else thinks about you. You've got this brain. Your brain is unique. It's beautiful. You've got a brilliant way of thinking. If it's possible, try to figure out what's best for you and utilize it to your best ability, because you can go walk into a job and be better than anyone else.
100%, and that's it. You're speechless.
Boom!
Honestly, thank you, Jacob. Thank you so much, man, for today. Honestly, like, if you are out there and you are struggling with anything, I hope Jacob's story has like given you like some perspective and some life and some energy, man, because that's what it's about. Destroy the stigma, be yourself, be proud, uplift each other, and we're gonna build a better world together, man. That ain't hippie rubbish. That is fact.
Awesome. Yeah. Definitely, and if anyone feels inspired by me, dude, that's amazing. Honestly, this is why I wanted to be here.
Nah, man, that was amazing. Like, as I say, energy up, so sick. You're so fucking inspiring to me, man. That was amazing. What a legend. I love that. My favourite thing is, like, just to give you a lot of the floor, man. You just... All of you blow my mind. I can't believe there's so many incredible people out there. You're just blowing my mind every time. If, like Jacob, you're neurodivergent, I hope you love and appreciate your uniqueness. And if you're not, I hope you try to understand and support your less typical friends. We are better off if we love each other for exactly who we are. Defeat stigma. Be exactly who you are. Celebrate everyone. If you want more information or support about this topic, you can check out BBC Action Line, and you can listen to loads more unique stories on the YB podcast on BBC Sounds. Look after each other. See you later. See you next week.